I didn't know what to expect, to be honest. I had been on retreats before, but Caritas was something different.
Actually, it's the first retreat I've ever even been to.
And to be honest, I didn't have any expectations of the retreat. My parents had shuffled me from one retreat to another since I was a teenager.
I think I was thinking it would just be kind of like a weekend to get away and hang out with Father Tree for a little bit.
I came into it kind of just open, without any expectations, just hoping to get away from the day-to-day.
Going in, I was pretty angry about all of 2011, pretty much.
I came in with the hope of healing more than anything.
Through the retreat, I was able to see that there were some pretty significant areas that God wanted to get into, and I wasn't sure I wanted to get into them. Well, for starters, it's all about
love. That is an opportunity to explore key relationships in one's life, how one relates to God, how one relates to one's deeper, truer self, and how one relates to key people in one's lives.
My name is Christian DeLarkin. I am 28 years old, and I heard about Caritas in 2009.
My name's Carissa. I went to Caritas in January of 2012.
My name is Quinn. A lot of people know me as Nhi. I go by both. It's the same person. I've been on Caritas since 2007.
I thought love was meeting expectation, living up to what people want of you. While I was at Caritas, though, I was encouraged to take part in a very safe environment, to take advantage of being in the presence of very caring and loving people. And so by being there, I was able to admit that I was angry with God. I was encouraged to write a letter, actually. Dear God, I'm angry with you. And I never thought I could do that, because then I thought I wouldn't be meeting God's expectation. How could I be angry with God, And I felt so much better doing that and realizing that I can be myself and potentially sometimes not meet people's expectations. I can still be loved. And so right now I've taken what I experienced from Caritas as God's beloved and now trying to share that with other people because they deserve it too.
I have to laugh answering this question because it's more like, how has Caritas not impacted my understanding of love? I grew up very Disney, and all about finding your true love and this perfect Prince Charming, and that was my understanding of love in the world. For me, the shift has been understanding that it's not so much about finding love or my purpose or even myself. It's been about allowing myself to be loved and allowing myself to be found, and God so gently and so patiently saying over and over, know that I love you and know that my love is going to surpass any fears and doubts and worries that you have. I don't know how I could ever go back to the way that I lived before.
When you have a relationship with someone, you have to take time to be with them. And Caritas enabled me to be with God in a way that I wasn't able to before. A time, almost like a vacation with God. It was a time to take out of my day-to-day life. And you know how day-to-day life is. You get caught up with the minutia and you don't really focus on what's important. And that was me, and that is me every now and again. Afterward, I started doing things that were more centered on God. I started praying more on my drives to school every morning. I listened to the daily readings on my phone and try to be open to what God's message is for me. And I don't think I would do that, or I would have started doing that if it weren't for the message of Caritas.
Going into Caritas, my relationship with God was based on what I needed or what I wanted to celebrate. So really, really, really high points or really, really low points. But never really included in the decision-making process. It was more of probably venting or like a hallelujah that happened kind of moment. Since then, little by little, I try to listen more and more often. I even started a little notebook to help me with that routine on a daily basis. So that's what's changed, is not only is there, oh, the thank yous and the, oh, please help me, but now it's, what do you think? What should I do? There's a lot more questions, and sometimes I'm ready to hear that answer and sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I shy away for a little bit. But since Caritas, I just, having that conversation with God on a daily basis has become one of my top priorities, and my day is incomplete without it.
I don't understand God, and that has probably been my biggest issue with him. I don't get his ways. Father Tree has often said, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. I've been really good at that. It's this continuous journey to be okay with that fog and be okay with that lack of understanding. But my prayer time has become less about me venting and talking, and just listening. I continue to be floored by the very simple, subtle moments when he's just saying, remember, I love you. And for me, somehow that's enough.
So Caritas has impacted me greatly in all aspects of my life. I've been a lot more reflective and centered with friends and family, and even with my wife. I feel like I've been becoming more open and honest and vulnerable, which are tough things to do, but they have great fruits. And in my work life, Caritas has been big. It's been a huge part of what I've been doing at the school as a leader, and I've been able to bring some of the elements of the retreat to our students and our faculty. I'm excited for those of you that have not yet experienced it. I highly recommend it.
Looking back on my experience since my Caritas and seeing how it is now affecting other people, I just looked back with such gratitude, and I felt like God made a promise to me that day that I am loved and that everything was going to be okay. And I asked him for it to not be angry. I wanted to be happy. I wanted to love more deeply those around me. And he kept that promise. And that's the way I felt this last January. And I continue to feel that way. And I know there's some challenges ahead. There's challenge to loving more deeply for sure. But you know what? I feel confident that God is still by my side, as he has been all this time. He's never left me alone, and that's something I definitely walked away with, is my friend.
This is a very big statement for me to say, that I don't really have no idea where my life is going, and I'm okay with it. It's taken a long time to get here, and it's still a process, but it's also the greatest adventure that I could have never imagined it to be like this. I'll end with, from Calvin and Hobbes, one of my favorite comics, that says, I have not gone where I intended to go, but I think I have ended up where I needed to be. And I see myself and so many people around me now taking what they experience and discover on Caritas and then bring that into their daily lives. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen next. Caritas changed my life. Like, that's all I have to say.